Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace. Stay tuned until the end for a special offer. Hello my darlings. Today's video features a 3-day exercise from school where we had to paint from a live model and practice rendering fabric. Real quick before I begin, if you'd like to see a 30-minute tutorial of this video along with hundreds of hours of exclusive content and monthly art rewards, feel free to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/happydartist. Also, there's a pinned comment with a link to a survey that I would love your input on in order to improve future Patreon and YouTube content. Thanks in advance for your feedback. Okay, back to this fabric study. Fun fact, this Roman-inspired toga outfit was constructed by 2 of my amazing classmates who managed to use some random bed sheets and curtains that were fastened together with binder clips and safety pins from our classroom supply closet. It was truly impressive to see this costume come to life with limited supplies and unlimited creativity. The challenge of this study was that the model can only pose for 20 minutes at a time with a 5-minute break in between poses for a total of 3 hours a day. Every time the model got up and moved around and then sat back down, the fabric would move and change. It wasn't like painting a completely inanimate still life or even a nude model who can resume the pose with relative accuracy. Fabric, unlike naked skin, wrinkles, bunches, stretches, and changes so dramatically that it was almost impossible to recreate the same visual reference between each 20-minute session. So now I have to ask the question, why did our teacher make us paint this way? Why couldn't we have just practiced painting fabric from a reference photo or draped over a chair or statue or something? Well, we like to joke in class that our teacher was torturing us on purpose to make us appreciate painting our still life projects more. But in actuality, there is a benefit to painting fabric on a moving, changing model. It teaches us to not just directly copy what we observe, but rather think about how the human anatomy underneath the fabric affects the way the fabric drapes over the figure. So when painting fabric draped over the human body, aka clothing, we must always think about how the body underneath is interacting with the fabric to cause it to fold or stretch in certain ways. For example, fabric stretched across a large flat area like the chest is going to result in less wrinkles, and fabric bunched up around tighter areas like the armpit or a bent joint of an arm will create tighter wrinkles that all converge at the bent joint. In these images, my teacher traced over my initial fabric block-in and showed me how he utilizes his knowledge of anatomy to make design decisions about the fabric so that he's never 100% dependent or reliant on a consistent, unmoving reference. But rather, he can interpret the reference to influence his design decisions and then rely on his foundational knowledge of anatomy, lighting, the physical properties of fabric, and of course the countless studies he's done over the years to piece together all this information into a well-rendered final painting. So it's a hybrid of observation and construction. This is how they painted back before photography was invented, a time when artists didn't have a reliable, stable reference photo or consistent lighting conditions. And at school, we often try to mimic the same techniques that classical painters used so that we can learn how to paint like the masters. Sometimes we are so used to the shortcuts that technology can provide that we forget how much harder the artists of the past had it. And it's always a fun exercise to put ourselves in their shoes, to remind us of the legacy we're upholding, and also to remind us not to take modern technology for granted. Anyway, that about wraps up today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I just wanted to say that I know this piece isn't the most aesthetically pleasing, as it is just a study meant for practice, and honestly, I still struggle sometimes with feeling insecure about posting videos that aren't some epic, beautiful, gallery quality painting. And the truth is, I am working on several other gallery quality projects, but larger oil paintings take a while to complete, and sometimes I just can't make enough significant progress to generate fresh monthly content for YouTube and social media. So I hope these more casual painting exercises are still useful and fun to watch while I slowly chip away at the bigger projects. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you around again soon. And of course, you guessed it, my eternal never-ending sale is still going on in my shop, so if you'd like 20% off your order of prints and originals, just enter the code HOLIDAY at happyd-artist.com. And if you're interested in learning more about how to paint and draw, I have lots of art educational content on my Patreon page, including exclusive video tutorials, step-by-step photo tutorials, live streams, podcasts, and even surprise art gift boxes, all available at patreon.com/happydartist. I'd love to have you join my Patreon family. I wanted to quickly thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video and for supporting my channel and the art community. I've actually enjoyed using Squarespace for 4 years now to build and host my online shop and website. So whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and visit squarespace.com/happydartist for 10% off your first purchase. Also, if you want to check out more artworks, works in progress, and just random daily artist adventures, feel free to check out my Instagram, and you can follow me at the handle @happydartist.